if it didn't work, you know? Just say.
Now we gotta begin.
Thank you, Barbara, for your time.
Done recipe for fish.
Oh, this is the fish taco thing Mr. Edmonds was talking about, okay. Mary, y'all didn't want to go hang out with Mr. Edmonds?
I see.
That's okay, we're glad you came. Daylight went to go hang out.
I figure Stefan went to go hang out with Mr. Higgins.
I'm wondering what he's got planned for them.
I am too.
They played games last time.
I did think that.
Last time at the math.
Okay.
I play games that has names.
Skittles. Well, thanks for coming. We have really what we've done tonight is just put together an activity that we've done with our students, and then several other activities, just to kind of showcase and show you what we're doing on the language arts side to incorporate Common Core into our lessons, and what your students or what your children are experiencing. I might get somebody over.
Okay.
Today we're going to look at these 4 Common Core state standards. The first one is refer to details and examples in a text when explaining what the text says explicitly and when drawing inferences from the text. The big emphasis right now is to have the students to look back at the text and to find that text evidence. And they'll hear that statement over and over again. What text evidence do you have to support your ideas? And so, and that's really a difficult task at this age, is to get the students, number one, to slow down their reading, but then to also revisit what they've read and to pull out that text evidence and use those examples to explain their thinking.
Those days when we were growing up where you had to read the book, close it, and then answer the questions, that's not the case anymore.
We want them to look back.
Yeah.
Look back. What does the text say? And to support their
Find
answers.
what, find your answer. If it's right there and you can find it, then we know you read it.
We're also looking at 4RL3, describe in depth a character, setting, or event in a story or drama, drawing on specific details in the text. For example, the character's thoughts, words, or actions. And we spent pretty much the first 9 weeks really analyzing characters and the settings and the plots of literary text. So we have an activity today where they will actually go in and look at what does the text say, and to be able to understand that character or that setting by supporting those details, using the details from the text. Then 4SL1, engage effectively in a range of collaborative discussions. The sitting in desk and rows, that does not exist in our classrooms today. We really encourage classroom discussions, but the students need to be discussing on topic what we're learning about, and to be able to provide that text evidence to support their thinking. So we encourage that. And then 4W9, draw evidence from literary or informational text to support analysis, reflection, and research. So taking that evidence and then to go further with that, use that evidence in their research and their reflections. Got it?
I thought I did, but maybe not.
Just click on it anywhere and it should go to the next one.
Okay.
Are you right clicking or left clicking?
I'm wrong clicking.
Okay. All right, dash notes, Miss Anderson will explain to you.
Dash notes is something that we use in my room a good bit. It's just a quick and easy way to take notes. They dash them off really fast. Specifically when we're looking at something that they can't go back and look at. A video, listen to a piece of music, something like that they need to just get an idea down really, really quickly. We also use it when they are reading. But it is just one thing that we use. Sticky notes, Post-it notes that they can use to capture that moment of thinking. That kind of helps them to remember oh yeah, this part I thought about this. Kind of like leaving tracks in the text. They kind of remember what they were thinking as they read that part, and then it helps them when they need to find that evidence to what they're doing. Yeah, I keep wrong clicking again. Okay. So what we're going to have you do is take some dash notes, whatever method works for you. My students usually do a dash and then jot a sentence or two, or jot, and actually it's not even a complete sentence, just a thought or an idea. And we actually did these with the kids, and it turned out to be really funny.
Yeah.
Because this was a song that they were not familiar with. So as you listen, we're going to let you just write down some details that help you picture the Purple People Eater. Sydney and Mary, we can't help them.
No cheating.
No
I
cheating.
don't even know what these are.
Y'all hadn't done it yet.
That's right.
Sydney, it's all on you, girlfriend.
And Dayla's not in here, she's done it, so.
Sydney needs a new pencil.
Oh, here's the pencil.
Stroud's got it. Gotta love automatic shut off. Huh?
Watch it.
It better load.
Play it on phone.
I've got the DVD in my
Well, I saw the thing coming out of the sky. It had a one long horn and one big eye. I commenced to shaking and I said, ooh-wee. It looked like a purple people eater.
They hadn't taken notes in a long time, have they?
Horn flying purple people eater. A one-eyed, one-horn flying purple people eater sure looks strange to me. Oh, well, it came down to earth and he lit in a tree. I said, Mr. Purple People Eater, don't eat me. I heard him say in a voice so gruff,
I wouldn't eat you 'cause you're so tough.
it was a one-eyed, one-horn flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horn flying purple people eater. One-eyed, one-horn flying purple people eater sure looks strange to me. I said, Mr. Purple People Eater, what's your line? He said, I eat purple people and it sure is fine. But that's not the reason that I came to land.
I wanna get a job in a rock and roll band.
Well, bless my soul, rock and roll, flying purple people eater. Pigeon toed, undercoat, flying purple people eater. Friendly little people eater, what a sight to see. And then he swung from a tree and he lay on the ground. And he started to rock, oh Billy, rocking around. It was a crazy ditty with a swinging tune.
Sing a bop, bop, a boop, a lop, a loom, bam, boom.
Well, bless my soul, rock and roll, flying purple people eater. Pigeon toed, undercoat, flying purple people eater. Flying purple people eater, what a sight to see. Well, he went on his way, and what do you know? I saw him last night on a TV show. He wasn't blowing it out or really knocking him dead, playing rock and roll music through the horn in his head.
Okay, so as you were listening, you were taking notes, and I'll let you just shout out those notes if you want to pass out the circle map. What we're going to do next is you're going to get a copy of a circle map, and a circle map is just where we, another way that we log our ideas down. So another way of brainstorming. So we're going to do a collaborative brainstorm now, where we'll just shout out those ideas that you took from what you heard. So who has a description of the Purple People Eater? Something that describes the Purple People Eater. One eye and one big eye. Okay, and you are welcome to write that down on your circle map. And then the thing about this is now you have your notes, you have your ideas, and now we're collaborating with others to get those ideas from the group. Okay, so you'll add your ideas plus other ideas that we come across. All right, anything else? One horn.
Eat people?
Okay, does he eat people? I don't know, sounded like it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to put eat people, and then we're going to put a question mark. Does he eat people or not? I don't know.
And is he purple or does he eat purple people? So that was a big discussion in my room. I mean, a big discussion about, okay,
So,
what's actually purple
is
here?
he purple? Okay. Is purple or eats purple people? Okay, what else do we know about the purple people eater? Lives in a tree.
Did it say that? Yeah.
Okay, anything else?
I heard flying.
He flies.
Flies?
That was also another big topic for debate when we did this with the kids, as to actually how he flew, what made him fly.
Any other details that we picked up as we listened to the text?
Short shorts. Yeah.
Yep.
Short shorts.
He likes short shorts.
Okay. Anything else we may have missed? Wants a job.
And then he said it was sad.
Said what?
Sad?
Sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And fine.
Anything else on your dash note?
Yeah, the hole in his head.
Okay. Hole in his head. Okay. All right. So our next step is to now look at the actual text, to look at the lyrics. So we've worked on our listening skills, and now we're going to look at our actual reading skills with looking at the text. And to do that, we're going to do what we call a close read.
Can you see it? You want me to unfreeze it?
Okay, we've added details to the circle map. Now, close read is simply a careful interpretation of a text in which the reader's got to pay close attention to the text. So what we have to do is slow ourselves down to record that information. So especially when we're reading nonfiction, literary text is a little bit easier and simpler to read. But with nonfiction, we really have to remind the students to slow down and to read carefully. But for this purpose, even though this is a literary text, we need to slow down and do that close read to pick out those details that we need and to pay attention to that. So the reasons why we give our students the opportunity to do a close read. Close reading slows us down and allows us to interpret those difficult passages. It keeps us focused on our purpose for reading, finding a claim to argue with, for example, and for this purpose, finding those details to support our visual picture of this purple people eater. It leaves us those breadcrumbs in which we can find our way back to our thinking later on, like when we've got to write a paper or prepare for a discussion. In this activity, you're preparing for that discussion of that purple people eater. But think about it when you're in college or reading a textbook. You've got to slow down, and I like to take notes or highlight or underline things because I need to go back to refer to that thinking. As your student gets older and they start doing more and more research papers, they're going to need to take that text and be able to get that information and come back to make it their own writing, and so that they're not plagiarizing later on. So next what we're going to do is you're looking at the lyrics. Do you have highlighters for everyone? I'm going to let you read through the lyrics, highlight any words that you notice, maybe words that we've already come across, or highlight the words, anything that gives you details about your purple people eater that is different that you did not pick on before. You might change some of your thoughts, original thoughts, something you thought you heard, you might see now in the text is different than what you thought you were hearing.
Yeah, looking at these lyrics was that moment when I went, oh, that's what
That's
I'm really
what he's
saying. All these years I thought it was that. Now this one would go, oh, did you see that one? Did you see that one? I found this. The kids tend to get very excited, especially when they can confirm something that they've heard.
Actually, I was absent.
You were, weren't you? Well, good. You and Mom. Read that closely. Pick out details in that and the lyrics that help you visualize the people here. What you think he's going to look like.
Okay.
Okay, what have you discovered this time that you may not have picked up on the first time? Any new discoveries? Pigeon-toed.
Yeah, that one had to have some explanation to
Okay,
go along
talk
with it
about
too.
what that meant. Okay.
He was coming out of.
Okay, undergrowth. So we did spend a little bit of time with the students then. What does that mean? He's undergrowth. What are they trying to say?
He's short.
He's short. So then we put in parentheses. He's short. Oh, that's what they're trying to say.
We also had a brief little lesson on the fact that songs were like poetry, and that even though that was not correct grammar, that in poetry that's the time we can break the rules, and that they did that in order to make this rhyme. I didn't want them to think that was correct grammar.
Coming out of the sky.
He's coming out of the sky. So we know that he came from the sky. So is he an alien? That's a question that now we're thinking about that text. What's that? He looks strange. Okay, so we want to know, is he an alien?
If it came from the sky, then he's an alien.
Okay, he looks strange to me. Okay,
Said he was crazy.
crazy.
He played a crazy ditty, yeah.
What's a ditty? That would be something that would come up in our discussion. Now, a child would chime in and say, what's that mean? And so now we're learning from one another.
We learned that from Miss Bullis.
You did? Great. All right.
She taught us a bunch of
How about his horn? Did anyone find out anything more rather than he just had one horn? What about the horn?
It was long.
It was a long horn. And so here I'm going to insert long to show that there's more information about that. And it's on his head.
Where would else it come from?
On his head, and it plays music. That's where he's getting that music from.
He liked rock and roll.
Okay, he wants to play in that rock and roll band, so he likes rock and roll. Any new information? New discoveries.
It is, he's eating purple people.
It is
What it says, what's your line? He said it's eating purple people.
eating purple people. So he eats purple people. So now we can check for understanding here based on the text.
He swung from the tree.
Swung from the tree. Now, did he live in the tree? Find the evidence in the text where it says that he lived in the tree.
Say he came down to earth and lit in a
He
tree.
lit in the tree. So what does that mean? I always thought it was he lived in the tree. That's what I thought I was hearing.
Maybe landed.
So maybe lit is a new word for landed. So we would take this and mark it out and change our thinking to lit. And then we're going to put a question mark. Does that mean he landed in the tree? We don't know. That's our inference. That's what we are inferring based on what we see around that text.
Well, he called his ditties swinging ditties.
They're swinging ditties. What does that make you think of when you hear swinging ditties? A swinging ditty, that would be a ditty or a song that makes you what? Makes me think of dancing, right? Alright, so you see how now the students have had this chance to understand why it's important to slow down that thinking, slow down that reading, do that close read, and think about the text. What does each word mean? And then we talk about the fact that the author is going to choose those words very carefully. When we're writing, we're not just going to write down any words or the first words that come to mind. We're going to go back and change that thinking because we want a specific thought to come to mind with our readers. Okay? Now you get to do a little fun activity. Okay, if you'll flip your circle map over to the back. It's your turn to draw your vision of the Purple People Eater. Based on these details that you have discovered through listening to the song and through reading the lyrics of the song, draw what your interpretation is of the Purple People Eater. And we're gonna put some colored pencils out so you can really get artistic on us.
They went nuts with this activity, drawing that purple people eater.
Okay, they, how's the fun doing? Thank you. I know you.
And we'll let you take this home. We won't put it on display.
How do you know it's purple? Peter says she's purple.
He's trying, I know. Thank you. I appreciate
I did not bring
you. Your positive. I appreciate that.
Hey, I got two myself. I don't have that good.
I appreciate that.
I saw you.
Did you highlight all that? That
Yes.
does not look like a keyword or phrase highlighted.
I know.
I know.
I was excited.
I just wanted to highlight. Here's a weird purple.
I'll get you one of every color over here if you want me to. That way you can.
Weird purple.
Here you go. Uh-huh.
Will be for you.
Even on TV.
And then you want to be it. It's just myself. That's not mine.
Who's saying this? Can we get a copy of that?
I'm sorry, brain is not working.
Thank you.
Have your own too.
Okay.
Look at that.
Oh, you got that probably right there.
Oh, look at that, going back and checking that evidence. You need to pat her on the back, tell her, good job, good job. Checking that evidence. As long as they can prove it to us, then we're good.
Mine's going to be Jewish purple. I didn't know purple because he turned purple for me. I wasn't into his class, but I was sort of.
It's very different from the things that we did when we were in school, for sure. You know, like I said, that read that book and close it, and take tests.
Yeah, everything's changed.
That looks like a dog. That's my dog head. That's really alien.
Uh-huh.
There's my one. There's my one.
Parents, don't forget to put your names on yours.
Take, they, we went
I'm a
to-
kid.
We'll take a snapshot of them with our phones.
Yeah, we can do that. Alpha
Just let us
art
take a
over here.
picture of them.
I might rip mine up. You're not, she says, you don't I'm just drawing something.
Okay, now that you are well on your way of actually into your drawing, I'm going to show you a video. This is one artist's interpretation of what the Purple People Eater might look like. One of the things that, once I showed this to the children, a lot of them went, oh yeah, he has wings, and they added the wings on because they had to think, well, how did he fly? If he was flying, did he have wings, or did he have something he flew on? So,
One of mine wanted to argue me down. They said, I think he had jetpacks on or rockets on his feet. And I said, you know, I can't find evidence to support that or contradict that, so you go ahead. You know.
So I'm going to let this video play, and you'll see a couple versions of what the Purple People Eater might have looked like. Interestingly, all of these are purple. Oh, that's at the end. I'm sorry. Let me go back.
Is that the song we just listened to? The song that classic?
There was actually a movie. And here's the Purple People Eater there in the movie.
Well, I saw the thing coming out of the sky. It had a one long horn and one big eye. I commenced to shaking and I said, ooh-wee. It looked like a purple people eater to me. It was
So here's a different version.
flying purple
He's got short shorts. And he's playing from his horn.
people eater sure looks strange.
And these are not ears, these are wings back here.
And he lived in a tree. I
We
said,
decided
Mr. Purple
this would be the man who sang the song originally. Shed Woolley.
I wouldn't need you because you're so tough.
It was a one-line, one-horn flying purple people eater. One-line, one-horn flying purple people eater. One-line, one-horn flying purple people eater. Sure looks strange to me. I said, Mr. Purple People Eater, what's your line? He said, I eat purple people and it sure is fine. But that's not the reason that I came to land.
I want to get a job in a rock and roll band.
Well, bless my soul, rock and roll, flying purple people eater. Pigeon toed, undercoat, flying purple people eater. Friendly little people eater, what a sight to see. And then he swung from a tree and he lay on the ground. And he started to rock, oh really rocking around. It was a crazy ditty with a swinging tune.
Sing a pop, tap, a boom, a knock, a loom, and boom.
Well, bless my soul, rock and roll, flying purple people eater. Pigeon toed, undercoat, flying purple people eater. Flying purple sight to see. Well, anyway, you know, I saw him last night on a TV show. He was a blowing it out, really knocking them dead, playing rock and roll music through the horn in his head. pool.
You did good too. I love those feet.
Some of the other activities that we did with this, as we tied it in across the curriculum, Mr. Hauser had the kids do a monster quest, which is very similar, and they had to read, and I'm sure they can tell you more about it, but in art, they had to read and do their own monster, so we kind of worked together to tie these activities
And with
together.
that activity, you had he talked about sketch artists, the job of a sketch artist, and you have 3 different accounts of seeing this monster at the swamp. And so each person who told of their account of the swamp adds a little different detail to the evidence of the creature. And so from looking at doing a close read of each person's account, they were able then to say, okay, what does each person have in common with their description, and what does this person add that this person didn't see or notice? And then they were sketch artists, and they created their own, or not their own, but they created the monster, the swamp thing, based on the details from the text. So, Mr. Hauser. So that was one way that they incorporated that in there. This would be for your student. I'll go ahead and give that to Mary. I'm sure she wants that. Here, let me give that to you.
My reading homework.
Oh, dang.
Here you go, Michelle.
Why don't you keep my homework and not come in? All right, Boo. I know you want that.
Oh, you're good, Mom. I don't like doing
The boys would like to. The boys and they won't let them use theirs yet.
Mama?
Oh, yeah. Miss Anderson, give them another. They have 2 boys, and of course, we're not about that.
I confiscated them.
Take pictures.
Please. You might take a picture. Just go to
Yeah, it was for the fact that Miss Anderson. Because I don't want them to flunk everything until,
Going backwards.
I have not taught math in.
y'all don't have nothing, I mean, no kind of. I'm thinking they're just deciding, okay, it's your turn. Your turn to be good, my turn to be
Because the
good.
way they're doing it now, I'm like,
What them
And
doing
the
at
last
school,
one-
I'd rather them both be,
I taught them 3rd grade math for
when it
15
comes to their
years.
school,
And
they're
then
misbehaving.
I taught 4th grade
They can
math
take
just
turns.
1 year, and I
Yeah.
hadn't taught it since.
Well, I told them,
And my monster. Came on a spaceship.
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, the boys.
Got those music notes going. I love it.
He came down on a spaceship.
I can't see them.
And
It's closer than look.
You ain't giving,
That's
yeah,
alright.
you kind of,
I just want to make sure we get
yeah,
on that.
laying down on
Yeah, I
your
called him.
Okay, you covering yours up because you don't want to take a picture?
Oh,
Oh,
Look, it's very simple.
Yeah.
Exactly, and I know there's some
I
that
put
she can
lines
use.
like that, lines around it.
Because I mean, they want to keep them off of Odyssey.
Ellen likes to
See what you
there's a
got.
website, it's
Look at there.
obviously there's no way to use it.
That's the mean.
Oh, look at the guitar. I love it.
Trying to get help.
No, and he's smart about it. He should be listening to process.
Yeah.
You might just I do the first thing.
Don't forget this one.
Oh, look at the hornet. Oh,
She loves
now see,
purple.
look at that. Huh? He's
She's an
smiling.
artist.
He's got polka dot shorts. Look at
Yes,
that.
you are.
I do today. Good job. Good job.
Yeah, y'all don't be surprised if you see those on the website.
All right, Mary, now get yours. Yes, ma'am, I need to get yours.
So no.
I'm not finished.
I'm not finished.
Yeah, yours is the first one I took. Oh, I'm ready. Yeah, got your piece next one.
But you know, as you're the artist, you can choose to add that detail or leave it out. That's your interpretation.
Thank y'all for sharing with us and letting us take pictures and share those. The kids will love seeing what we did and what you created. I know they love that with the guitar on there.
Yeah, the boys. That one.
We actually had planned to break into stations, but obviously this, we like to overplan, so that's a good thing. But the Monster Quest was going to be one of the stations you could have worked at. Charlotte's Web, Miss Stroud has an activity that she does with the students where they do a close read. Well, I'll let you tell them more about it.
We just take 2 pages out of the book and they do a close read, and we pay attention to all the details. And when they're visualizing, they're really thinking about what they're reading, and they underline or highlight. I run a copy of 2 pages, and they'll highlight all the descriptive details, and then they sketch out an illustration of the barn scene, and we see how many details they can fit into that barn scene, and there's at least 20 or 30 details they can put in there. We haven't done Charlotte's Web yet, but we will. But I mean, you can do that activity with them at home. Just have them read, and if they can't highlight in the book or underline, maybe just give them a piece of paper and say, jot down all the details.
Take those
that
dash
you think.
notes.
Yeah.
That's another way
We
to
just-
use that again.
We call it bullets. Just take bullets and jot down the details and then sketch.
And then the third station, Miss Anderson was going to head up with the alien alliteration. I'll let her tell you about that.
Linked that in with the aliens. It's something we did years ago and we kind of pulled it back out. But alliteration is when you start, it's repeated consonant sounds over and over and over again. So we do tongue twisters and that kind of thing. And then we would make aliens, and on their tongue there would be a tongue twister. And it's usually easier for the children to do that with their own name. Like,
As long as your name starts with a consonant,
Yeah.
they will. And so we have one example that I had done years ago, and it's Precious Polly paints pink and purple pictures. So I used my first name and then created a tongue twister using alliteration. And then we added it to the alien, and they were able to decorate the alien and hang those outside. Okay. That's all we have for you. We appreciate you coming. Thank you for being such a good class and participating. And you can take all of that with you.
Thank y'all.
this one, all that.